I haven't had the opportunity to tell you how sorry I was to hear about your brother. War is war, but killing a man at a wedding, horrid. What sort of monster would do such a thing?
It is my honor to present my grandmother, the Lady Olenna of House Tyrell.
Kiss me, child. It's so good of you to visit me in my foolish flock of hens. I hear you knocked my grandson into the dirt like the silly little boy he is.
I can't believe you're going, leaving me alone here with these people.
The time has come, my dear. There's nothing more tedious than a trial. Except perhaps these gardens. If I have to take one more leisurely stroll through these gardens, I'll fling myself from the cliffs. You may not have enjoyed watching him die, but you enjoyed it more than you would have enjoyed being married to him, I can promise you that.
But I would have been the queen.
Our alliance with the Lannisters remains every bit as necessary to them as it is unpleasant for us. Gods, boy, that's enough. We're not in a tavern.
Pardon me,
There's no
lady.
need to speak. Are there any figs? Fetch some.
I admired her father.
Yes. Ned Stark had many admirers. And how many stepped forward when the executioner came for his head?
People who spend their money on this sort of nonsense tend not to have it for long.
You ought to try enjoying something before you die. You might find it suits you. Not now, Mace. Lord Tywin and I are speaking. Your grandfather gave me a necklace, just like this one. My 51st name day.
The wedding is in a fortnight, Grandmother. You can't say no to everything.
Nonsense.
I seem to recall he laid siege to Storm's End for the better part of a year.
All he laid siege to was the banquet table in the command tent. Should we have some lemon cakes?
Lemon cake's my favorite.
So we've been told. Are you going to bring the food, or do you mean to starve us to death?
Do you like it, Nana?
Another golden rose. How original. I eat from plates stamped with roses. I sleep in sheets embroidered with roses. I have a golden rose painted on my chamber pot, as if that makes it smell any better. I was told you were drunk, impertinent, and thoroughly debauched. You can imagine my disappointment at finding nothing but a browbeaten bookkeeper.
Only he was brave and gentle, Grandmother. Father liked him, and so did Loris.
Loris is young and very good at knocking men off horses with a stick. That does not make him wise. As to your fathead father.
Grandmother, what will Sansa think of us?
You might think we have some wits about us. One of us at any rate. Look, little loves. A spider in the garden.
So am I the queen?
More than you were with Renly. Less than you would have been if Joffrey had done you the courtesy of consummating the marriage before dying.
Might I sit?
No. A man of the people. Is that your game? It's an old game. Dull and unconvincing. A man of the people who does Cersei's dirty work for her.
The people always do the dirty work.
Spare me the homilies. I can smell a fraud from a mile away. My grandson is the pride of High Garden. The most desirable bachelor in all 7 kingdoms. Your daughter
Is rich, the most beautiful woman in all 7 kingdoms, and the mother of the king.
Old.
Old?
old. I'm something of an expert on the subject. Does it move or talk? I want to speak with you alone.
Scepter Unella has been my true friend and counselor.
Oh, this is madness.
The gods' laws must be applied to all equally.
If it's equality you want, so be it. When House Tyrell stops sending our crops to the capital, everyone here will starve. And I'll make sure the hungry know who's to blame. Did you grow up with boy cousins, Lord Tywin? Sons of your father's bannermen, squires, stable boys?
Of course.
And you never...
No.
Not once? Not in any way?
Never.
He's a clever man, your hand. I've known a great many clever men. I've outlived them all. You know why? I ignored them. Has this boy mistreated you? Has he ripped out your tongue?
King Joffrey, his grace is very fair and handsome and as brave as a lion.
Yes, all Lannisters are lions. And when a Tyrell farts, it smells like a rose.
But you have chosen to follow me. I will not attack King's Landing. We will not attack King's Landing.
Then how do you mean to take the Iron Throne? By asking nicely?
I serve the gods. The gods demand justice.
How do they communicate their demands? By raven or horse?
There are always lessons in failures.
Yes. You must be very wise by now.
Has the Crown suddenly stopped needing the troops' gold and wheat my house supplies?
I can assure you, our alliance with House Tyrell remains...
Do you expect the alliance to continue after you've thrown our future into prison?
As I said, I didn't imprison anyone. As for your veiled threats...
What veil?
Bring me some cheese.
The cheese will be served after the cakes, my lady.
The cheese will be served when I want it served, and I want it served now. So, their son will be your nephew, after you're wed to Cersei, of course. And you will be the king's stepfather and brother-in-law. When you marry the king, Joffrey's mother will become his sister-in-law. And your son will be Loris's nephew, grandson? I'm not sure. But your brother will become your father-in-law. That much is beyond dispute.
I wanted to personally welcome you to King's Landing. The city has been made brighter by your presence.
The city is made brighter by my presence. Is that your usual line, Lord Varys? You here to seduce me?
A little obvious, perhaps.
Oh, no, please. Seduce away. It's been so long. Though I rather think it's all for naught. What happens when the non-existent bumps against the decrepit? Oh, you can smell the shit from 5 miles away.
You once spoke of your respect for our father because he understood the necessity of working with one's rivals.
My dear, you have been stripped of your dignity and authority, publicly shamed, and confined to the Red Keep. What's left to work with? You're not in your sanctuary now, my dear. All I have to do is whistle, and my men will stroll in here and bash you about until I tell them to stop. If I tell them to stop, you could use a good bashing.
Grandmother, please.
You've taken an interest in Sansa Stark?
Have I? Because I spoke to her once in this garden, and one of your little spies came running to tell you? Why shouldn't I take an interest? She's an interesting girl.
Is she?
No, not particularly.
My stomach remains quite strong, however. The only thing that might turn it are details of your grandson's nocturnal activities. Do you deny them?
Oh, not at all. A sword swallower through and through. How will you do it? With that sword? That was Joffrey's sword, wasn't it? Not that he ever used it. What did he call it?
Widow's Wail.
He really was a cunt, wasn't he?
We invited you to Dorne because we needed your help. You came to Dorne because you needed our help.
What is your name again? Barbara?
Obara.
Obara. You look like an angry little boy. Don't presume to tell me what I need.
Forgive my sister. What she lacks in diplomacy, she makes...
Shut up, dear. Anything from you? No. Good. Let the grown women speak. Your Grace, I have traveled a long way.
You must be exhausted.
Put the pen down, dear. We both know you're not writing anything.
Ah, yes, the famously tart-tongued Queen of Thorns.
And the famous tart, Queen Cersei.
I promise you...
I promise you, Lord Baelish, that our fates are joined. Together we murdered a king. If my house should fall, I will have nothing to hide. And if I should meet with some accident here at your broken little flesh market, they'll never even find what's left of you. Marjorie is the queen. You are not the Queen, because you're not married to the King. I do appreciate these things can get a bit confusing in your family.
I made a terrible mistake. I carry it with me every single day.
Good.
I delivered an army of fanatics onto our doorstep. And now we must fight them together. We need each other.
I wonder if you're the worst person I've ever met. Luckily for you, the Queen Regent is rather distracted at the moment, mourning her dear departed boy, accusing her brother of his murder, which he didn't commit.
Well, he could have done.
Oh, he could have done, but he didn't.
You don't know, Grandmother.
But I do know. You don't think I'd let you marry that beast, do you?
I don't understand. Who?
Don't you worry yourself about all that. You just do what needs to be done. I'd hate to die like your son, clawing at my neck, foam and bile spilling from my mouth, eyes blood red, skin purple. Must have been horrible for you, as a king's guard, as a father. It was horrible enough for me. A shocking scene. Not at all what I intended. You see, I'd never seen the poison work before. Tell Cersei. I wanted to know it was me.